Normally we are familiar the statement of profit and loss. In statement of profit and loss, normally the profit before tax, we take for the calculation of the corporate tax, calculate the taxable income. Sure, the link will be shared for the same, but just focus on that, and even you search with the same, it will come to you also. But let's focus over there. Later on, we will share the link as well. Here we have to see the other comprehensive income. But then financial statement, I just appreciate you guys if you send me in the chat how many component of the financial statement. Normally we see in the audited report of the companies wherever we are working at the client. So I just appreciate if you drop in chat the message, how many component of the financial statement. Just quickly is a small exercise. Just mention the name also. Just mention the name also, because the important part that you have to understand. So which 5 you are familiar? Which 5 you are familiar? The one component you are missing. Guys, I appreciate if you can specify what are the 5. Yes, one of the OCI is a 6th component, it's not the 5th component. OCI, other statement, other comprehensive income is the 5th component, is not the, is the 6th component. So as per IFRS, this is the 6th component. Some company, why I'm saying the 6th, because normally is the 5 component. Mostly people mention the profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow, equity, and state notes to accounts. But we normally not seen the other comprehensive income. So IFRS allow us to make the combined report, the statement of profit and loss and the other comprehensive income. Here we seen the separate, and here we seeing the other comprehensive income. So they will not make the separate, but you can make the separate also. So why this is important? Why this is important? Because these line item, it will make the effect. It will make the effect on your tax preparation. Corporate tax liability calculation, it will affect. How it will affect? How it will affect? Because the important part, I already make one detailed session, 2-hour session on this. That is available on the ProTax e-learning YouTube channel. So you may go and search unrealized gain and losses and gain. So if you go through, so you will understand what are the point I'm trying to explain over here, because that is the one complete session and very detailed session for understanding. So now you will understand in the return we have to opt for the election. The election, there is a couple of election, we have to understand the basis of the election. So today I will not go in detailed discussion, but I highlighted the point. If you go and watch on the YouTube, this I'll share the link again in the group also. So this point will be get clear from there. But you have to spend the time, invest your time, and understand why this other comprehensive income is important during the calculation of the corporate tax. Taxable income and making the adjustment. Let's move to the next point. Before moving to the next point, so today I'll just share one quiz that will be considered as our attendance also, and for your learning point of view also. So guys, quickly take 5 minutes and try to complete this quiz. Normally in this quiz, I'm trying to add the one or two lengthy question also that may take more time, but even you're not able to understand, but later on after the session, you go back and work on that and understand. We are reading the topic, but maybe that topic is not covered, but that quiz will give you the understanding so far. In future, the topic will be covered. But the important part, you have to know what is the concept why we are going through this exercise, because in future we have to see such scenarios where we have to apply the tax regulation. Please quickly. Mr. Sharik Noor, thank you. You all write the complete text regarding the component of financial statement. I appreciate for your dedication and spending the time and investing the time. Other people also write, but you type the complete words of the statement of profit and loss and the statement of financial position. So keep active in the session and focus on the key points. And later on, we will go example by example on these areas. So far, any participant completed the exercise, just please send the message in the chat. Guys, just for your information, if any one from your circle or is known to you guys, if he's preparing the PwC exam test for the TOLI, ATTI, if you need any support, I can help on that also. Specifically, I'm on in the first 2 weeks of the Feb. I have one specific participant where they are preparing. So for the exam, so these 2 weeks will be dedicated for those participants or those candidates to prepare them for the exam. I'm not saying I'm offering the PwC services. I'm just saying they already took the session, but the challenge is that during the work life is difficult to continue along with the session also. But later on, once you stand alone, sit and prepare, it will be difficult to recall all the things or do the exam preparation. So in that regard, if anybody needs the support, I can support those participants also. Okay, now most of the participants saying yes is already done. Now the tax period for the natural person, Gregorian calendar year, that we already knows that Gregorian calendar year is the January to December. So 12-month period, the first filing period will be 9 months after the year end, that is 30th September. Natural person will always have a tax period following the Gregorian calendar year. The first tax period for natural person will be will be 1st January 24 to 31st January 2024. 1st January 24, 31st December, January 2024. So this will be the first tax period. We already understand this point, but again, as part of the process, we are explaining this. Let's move to the next. Relief for individual cabinet decision. Natural person, we already understand, but again, now we are summarizing in a different way. Natural person relief, both resident and non-resident UAE, doing business or business activity through a trade license or require a trade license. That you have to understand the difference. Doing a business or business activity. These words have the broader definition. Doing a business or business activity in a UAE through a trade license. They already taken the trade license or require a trade license. Maybe that activity, as per the local regulation, you need to have the trade license, but you do not have. So that doesn't mean you are coming. You will go out of scope. Even some where the tax regulation is saying you are doing the business where you do not require the trade license, that will be go out of scope. But it's not mandatory. If the activity is required to have the trade license, even you do not have, you will be the scope of the corporate tax. Now we are saying through a trade license, a required trade license, yes. Okay, if the revenue is greater than 1 million Gregorian calendar year, not a tax period. Now, first we understand natural person doing the business or business activity through a trade license or require a trade license. Yes. Now we are saying the revenue is greater than 1 million in a Gregorian calendar year, Gregorian calendar year, not a tax period. Because the Gregorian calendar year is itself is a tax period for the natural person. There is no other tax period. The definition we already understand. Now we are saying if the revenue is greater than 1 million, yes, taxable person required to register for city. And if revenue is less than 3 million, he can avail the small business relief. We already understand the same concept. Now we are summarized in for better understanding. Now, if the revenue is greater than 1 million, no. Here we're saying the revenue greater than 1 million, yes, he have to go for city and register and pay the prepare the return, but he can opt for the SPR. If the revenue is less than 3 million, do not no need to go for the city registration. Now the next part, if he's first we said he is doing the business and the business activity through the trade license or required trade license, yes. Now he's saying no. If he's not doing the business, or business activity through a trade license or require a trade license, okay, the gross revenue less than and more than 1 million does not require to register for city. So you know what is the point over here is mentioning. There is a real estate, because 3 exemption the 3 benefits to the natural person is available. One is the wages and salaries. There is no corporate tax on that. There is a personal investment and the real estate. Real estate, if he's doing without trade license, and if he's doing whatever the income, whatever the revenue, million, trillion, so that will not fall under the corporate tax threshold or the compliance. Now the next point, doing the business activity through a separate legal entity. The important point we have to understand the separate legal, the word legal entity, LLC, juridical person. If it's a yes, required to register for the city and pay the city. If no, so if it's doing business through a separate legal entity, he have to apply. If is not doing, then there's no same. We will go back on the condition. If you do not have any separate legal entity, so he will be considered under the natural person relief and other condition. Let's move to the next. Now, not a business or business activity. The same point I'm mentioning before. He is not doing business or business activity. The point here we are mentioning, less than 1 million, more than 1 million does not require, because we are saying is this no. Okay, now this no, how to read this? Natural person, both resident and non-resident, not doing business or business activity in a UAE through a trade license or require a trade license. This is the point where we are understanding. If a person is working as an employee in an organization on a contract basis or any form of the employment, do he need the trade license? Or he don't need the trade license? The personal investment, if he made the investment in shares, okay, natural person buy the shares of any stock exchange. So do he need to have the trade license? No. The next point, the real estate investment. The real estate investment, just now we understand, is not doing through the trade license or require the trade license, because the natural person, he can have the property on his own name. Even he have the multiple properties on his own name, but he do not have the trade license. He's having the rental income. If he have the rental income, but the property through those are under his personal name. We already seen the example in the last session in this regard, that will not fall under the corporate tax. But when the property will come under the juridical person, under the real estate LLC company, yes, then it will be subject to corporate tax. So now the SBR revenue in the current and the previous tax period should not exceed 3 million. This is the, again, I'm summarizing this point. Hope you guys understand that the word is used the tax period, not the accounting period. The important point we have to understand, the current and previous tax period. Maybe this is your first tax period is less than 3 million. And second tax period, again, less than 1 million. In the third tax period, even is exceeding 3 million. So then you have to go for the corporate tax return preparation and pay the city liability. Now the natural person relief, current Gregorian calendar year should not exceed the 1 million. Let's move to our next point, relief for individual ministerial decision link is there. So if the way same is written over there, you just go and type on the Google and it will be open over there, but I'll share the link also. Here again, I'm summarizing the relief for natural person. The same point I'm explaining in different way, multiple way for your better understanding, for repetition, for your, because if you have the, your understanding is not clear, so the application of such thing will not be appropriate. Relief for natural person, the cabinet decision is, ministerial decision 49 of 2023. Based on that, the relief for individual. Resident non-resident person doing business activity. Now, the important point, earlier also we explained, doing business activity independently, ongoing, conduct regularly. Okay. The main activity, the regular activity, if this is the thing, so this we will consider as a business activity. Next, the revenue. If the revenue is a less than 1 million, if the revenue is a less than 1 million. So this is the point I want to explain. The revenue is less than 1 million. No need to register for city. No need to calculate the taxable income for the city. I'm just going back. Okay. If the revenue less than 1 million, no need to register for city and no need to calculate the taxable income for city purpose. Now the next point, relief is not available. Now again the natural person relief, there is some limitation. We have to understand the limitation. If you are part of the qualified free zone, if you are part of MNE, MNE means the consolidated revenue greater than AED 3.15 billion dirham. and you are operating in any location. The next point, if not business activity. Just now in the previous slide, we understand wages and salary, personal investment, real estate investment income. Not through a trade license or the required trade license. Let's move to our next.